So, good morning or good night, depending on where you are in the world, and welcome to another interview of the Shield Dude on a Couch. I'm your host, Hector, and today I'm joined by Dennis Jansen. He's the lead singer from the hardcore band for the Netherlands, Those Left Standing, who just released an album a few weeks ago, and it's called Almere City Hardcore. So, Dennis, how are you tonight?
I'm doing very good, very good. Thank you for having me.
Yes, I like that in your description, you guys say we're old, but we still can rock.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Well, we've been around for a while, and we were still going strong. I mean, we started off making music when we were like 16. All of us did in different bands, and we're a bit older now, but we're still, making the music that we like and rocking it out on stage.
Yeah, so you guys were in different bands, but you came together to form this band, and this
Yeah,
is your debut record.
yeah.
Uh, so yeah, tell us a little bit about about the history of the band.
Well, like I said, we played in a whole lot of different hardcore bands, metal bands, and punk bands over the years. All the members did on separate occasions through the years. And we had a band called Forgotten Vengeance, which was a hardcore band here from Almere. We played in that band for about 10 years. Three of us did, and eventually it broke up. Things like that happen. We went our separate ways. But the three of us, well, we weren't ready yet at throwing the towel. We still wanted to play some, and we knew a bass player from around here. We got together, played some songs, really hit it off, worked well, and we just went along with it again. Started writing some new songs, doing some gigs, and it was really cool. And then Corona hit, so we kind of like we simmered, couldn't do too much. And after that all ended, we definitely wanted to do something more with the band, and started working on an album.
Yeah, so how much different do you say that the sound from this band is from your previous work?
It is a bit different. It's more old school, a
Mhm.
bit more 90s hardcore. And it's kind of funny because we listen to a wide range of music. Everyone does in the band, not specifically like old school hardcore. I do a lot. 90s bands
Well,
I grew up with. Shelter, Sick of It All, Downset, Biohazard. But eventually,
I've
when we
seen
make
Sick of It
music,
All in concert. Yeah,
what you say?
I've seen Sick of It All in
Yeah,
concert.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
awesome. It still is. And when we get together, we just make the music that we like, and yeah, this is the stuff that comes out of it, and a lot of it is a big punk orientated, but it translates, when we're working on it, to like a 90s hardcore kind of mix, and that's different from what we did before. It was like a more metalcore kind of vibe.
Okay. No, yeah, this is pretty hardcore, and hardcore has got like a resurgence over the years, but there's a lot of bands doing hardcore, mixing them with different styles, like Turnstile, which is a band that's kind of huge and started like a hardcore band, but then they infuse other stuff to it. So yeah, hardcore. Now it's a lot of experimentation, but yeah, I got old school hardcore vibes, like you said, Sick of It All, those type of vibes. That's very old school, in your face, and like make you want to mosh. So this is a very personal record for you guys. Dennis, do you write all the lyrics for the songs?
Yeah, all of them. Yeah.
Yeah. Where do you draw the inspiration when you're like writing the lyrics? Do you like to be very personal or a little bit?
It depends. Most of it is stuff that I myself or we as a band encounter over the years. People around us, issues. and they can be very personal. But then when I write it down, I try to think about how people can relate to the song in some way. So literally you try to make it a bit different, so more people can relate to just your issue. But it's stuff that comes from adversity that we had to face on a level like personal, people with anxieties, that kind of stuff. We try to put that in a song. We know a lot of people that come to the shows that have stuff like that. We talk about the underdog position,
Oh yeah,
that you
there's a lot
sometimes
of like
had to fight out of. A lot of people can relate to that. We have that in Almere also, as a town, as people from here, as a hardcore band. We're not making R&B, so we're not we're not gonna be the first in line for the next festival around here. We have to work for it, and you gotta show something for it. You gotta prove. You gotta endure, and that's what we try to say in our songs. Like still going strong. We've been around for a while, but we're still doing it. We're not giving up. We're not backing down, and we try to form that, or I try to form that in the lyrics, and give it every song a little personal edge, but something that people can relate to.
Yeah. What's the Almere music scene like?
It's not that big. We're like a new city, in the sense that the first houses were built in 1975, so it's pretty new. And the music scene has always been about a couple of bands who are working at the moment, and then forming new bands, but then they like wither away a bit, and then a new generation comes up, and that's been going on for the past decades. And it's difficult to get like a real big scene, but it's moving along. And there's not really a hardcore scene because we're like the only hardcore band around, but we still like to form one and try to get people on board and get new young people on board to make music and go all out. That's what we see in Almere City Hardcore, and trying to get them, to have fun with it, and in the process of that, getting people over to come and watch us, join us, and then watch the other bands too, and the new bands coming up.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's good if you're the only ones. You're paving the way for the hardcore scene to grow in Almere. So the album is 32 minutes long, so it's a short affair, and it's got 12 songs. So I there was a song, the fifth song, Candy Shop. I thought it was gonna be a 50 Cent cover. Well, I wonder if before I'm like, I'll take you to the candy shop, but I'm like, no, it's not a 50 Cent cover. So tell me a little bit about that one, about Candy Shop. What are you referring to?
Well, that's kind of a funny one. Candy Shop, the name kind of came because our bass player played the first tune, and he thought it kind of sounded like Candy Shop, so we just used it as a work title.
From
And
50 Cent?
yeah. He thought it did. It didn't, but he thought it did. So we started, jamming with it and working with it, and it turned out to be a song. And we made the whole music part first, and I didn't spit anything on it yet. And then we used like I said, the work title Candy Shop, and I kind of went with, okay, if we call it Candy Shop, what can I do with it? And thinking about rappers and people, acting tough, being tough. And then I figured, okay, we can, like in rap, you have like diss tracks, and I thought, well, we can make a hardcore version of that, because everywhere in every scene, also in the hardcore scene, you got guys who are acting tough, acting rough, but aren't that tough at all. It's kind of it's all show. And in every scene, you got people who are posers and act like they're got that in their face attitude, but really. It's not that way. And we encountered a couple of them over the years, and I figured, it might be fun to do a track about that, and then just go with it and call it Candy Shop. And well, that's kind of what happened.
Yeah, that's a funny story, and yeah, you have that. You have them on every scene, like, I'm so tough. I don't. That's the dude that says I only listen to the demo tape. After that, they sold out or something like that. Like only the demo tape, nothing else, nothing
Nothing
more.
else.
So yeah, and I like a lot the song before that. People don't fuck this up, which is like tell me a little bit about the background on that one.
Well, people don't fuck this up. Kind of like you said, we came in whole Corona, and after that we started working on the album and on the songs. And every once in a while we have like a big disaster or a big scandal, something big, globally, and people always after that, are in a we got to change and we got to make a difference and something has to happen kind of vibe. And before that transpires, we're back to the old ways and doing the same old shit over again, and nothing really changes or happens or gets better. And
It's like
after all the Corona
a
stuff, it's like,
recycling.
yeah, when are we going to step out of that cycle and as a people as a whole do something and not step over each other every chance we get, for the few to get better. And we can only do that, with everybody. So it's kind of like, okay, can we learn from a history, finally. It's going to be tough, but well, I'm hoping. So that's kind of what people don't fuck this up. Like, again, we have a chance to do something, to make that step, not just say it, but do something about it, as a people, as a whole. So yeah, that's kind of the question. It's kind of more like a question, like people don't fuck this up.
Yeah,
That's what we're
it's
trying
like
to.
please.
Yeah.
So for you growing up, Dennis, how much has hardcore music meant to you?
A lot, actually. I started listening to hardcore when I was about 15, 16. A couple of friends of mine were like, let's start a band in the garage. And we were playing, didn't really know what to play. And then the guitar player came over one time and who said, I got this CD and you got to listen to it. And it was like a compilation of hardcore bands. And we listened to it and we were like, yeah, this is what we got to do. We got to play music like this. So we started checking those bands out and going to Amsterdam, going to shows. And this was like late mid and late 90s. And like I said, bands like Sicker Verdol, bands like Shelter, we started seeing those bands and they had a really big effect. I love the vibe. I loved like the unity, during the shows. The people had, the bands had. The guys that you saw on stage were also selling their merch. So you could talk to them, talk about the band, talk about music, about anything really. And, being there together, shouting the songs along with the singer, being on stage diving, doing the whole thing. People like grabbing each other up, moshing. It was, when you're in your teens, it's like really cool. It's a big thrill. And yeah, I had a feeling that, that you belong somewhere with a group. It felt really good. And the sheer primitive part of the music, the hardcore, it's I think it's like it has something. It has some, it has inner rage, but it also has a message, and that combination really spoke to me, and I love doing it myself. Like I said, with the band back then with those guys, and it just started growing from there, and I just love the intensity of it all, and that stuck. Like I said, we went into other bands over the years, did some metalcore stuff, but still the hardcore, yeah, that remained, in the heart. And I don't think that ever leaves once you're in that scene, once you get that taste of the real hardcore. And well, over the years, here we are again, you know, still doing that thing and making the music I fell in love with, definitely back in the day.
Do you feel about the new bands in hardcore that are experimenting with different genres? Is that something that you are open to as a band, or do you prefer to keep like that old school vibe?
No, definitely open. Like you said, you mentioned
Mm.
Turnstile before. I think that's an awesome band. It really, really is.
Oh
And
yeah, they done like very like it's different stuff with it.
yeah.
Uh,
But yeah, the music evolves, and so does hardcore. And I don't think you have to be like a hardliner to say like hardcore has to stay this way. No,
yeah,
you got bands experimenting with stuff, and that makes it very diverse. And I think that's really cool. You get some real cool things out of that. And for us, like I said, we don't specifically try to make this style of hardcore because we all got like different influences, but it just works out that way. And we just like the music. We make the music that we like, that we love. And
yeah, because it's like a hardcore, but there's also like a punk element to your sound.
yeah,
Uh,
definitely is. Yeah, like a guitarist, used to listen to like Exploited and that kind of bands. So that definitely gets in there too. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you know, it reminds me bands like you hear Terror, uh, Down to Nothing. I think of bands like Comeback Kid, and you know, all bands that I've seen. I actually saw Comeback Kid when I lived in Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. There was another band that headline, but yeah, it was a very like hardcore punk type of show.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I
I
saw
know
him too.
you guys released your album September 7. Was it only digitally or do you have physical copies as well?
Physical copies as well. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you have CDs because I saw Bandcamp. You have some CDs of it. Yeah, there's
Definitely.
the CD. So tell me a little bit about how was the show?
Oh, awesome. It was awesome. Yeah. We played the album, the whole album, and it was really cool. We had people there who've been with us from the beginning, even from the Almere City Hardcore beginning. So from a former bands coming to check it out, had a blast. It was really cool. We played with some other bands from around here, Bone Ripper. It's a metal of a hardcore band from Harlingen in Friesland, here in the Netherlands. Really good. The singer produced, mixed and mastered our album, and he
Awesome.
did a really good job. WD. And we had a band from Almere, metal band, Cult of Carnage, which was really good. Like new guys coming up. The drummer of the band used to watch us as a kid, and now he's playing with us. So that's what I said earlier. We're trying to make a scene and trying to get these guys to play music as well. And well, that's what's happening. And we had Filthy McNasty, a punk band from Horen. So a diverse lineup: metal, hardcore, punk, and yeah, that was really cool. It was really cool. Real party. Everybody and everybody was really enthusiastic about the record.
Yeah, so I want to show the artwork of the record. I know you have it here, but I have the artwork here. So here's the artwork for Those Left Standing, Almere City Hardcore. It's pretty cool because it looks like an old school like treasure map from long ago. Tell me a little bit about the inspiration for the artwork.
Well, it actually is a map.
It is a map, yeah.
One from the 1700s, and you see the X that marks the spot. That is where Almere, the city, is now. Back in the day, it wasn't there. It was like a sea, and over the years, everybody, the Dutch government wanted to make land there, and they did that in the 1970s, and they built Almere on that. And that is something that works for us in the Almere City Hardcore vibe. The rest of the Netherlands has a real big history. And like I said, they started building on Almere in 1975. So we have a real short history. And people in the rest of the Netherlands have tend to say that our history is too short and we don't have a real culture in Almere. And we say that we do. And we make our own history, we make our own culture. We're doing that right now. We've been doing that for years. And we just want to
And
show,
you're just like in the other side of the river from Amsterdam.
yeah, it's really close. Yeah. And we just want to let them know that we're there. We are there. Almere is there. Almere City Hardcore is there. And well, that's kind of what the album cover says.
Yeah, like keeping it real, Almere style.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, it's a cool artwork. And I had to Google because where Almere was when you sent me. I'm like, where is that? I'm like, and then I'm like, oh, it's next to Almere because I never heard of Almere, but now I do. So yeah, the album cover's great. The album, is very energetic to the point, and yeah, there's a lot of songs about like fighting. You have Still Going Strong. You have songs like Never Enough, Uphill Battle. So it's a lot of songs about like like battling and just like even it's kind of it has like a positive message, even though it can be like I like that you have a song called Anger Anthem, and you're like and you put it right there. And the first song is Crow, and not The Crow, so it's not about the movie.
No.
The new one, I haven't seen it, but I think I'm sure it sucks.
Probably.
I'm pretty sure. I don't have to see it to know that it's terrible. So yeah, then it's you being a fan of hardcore. Like which were your favorite hardcore vocalists?
Vocalist. I think Ray Capo. Definitely. Like I said, I went to a lot of shelter shows, Better Than 1,000, and I love his intensity. Trying to get a message across. And I actually, like I said, back in the day, you can talk to the singers who are always selling their merch, and Ray did so as well. I got the chance to talk to him a couple of times, and that was really cool. And Dennis has the same name from a band Refused from Sweden.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know
Yeah,
Refused. Yeah.
yeah, him too, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool band. So you seem like pretty chill. I'm guessing when you get on stage, you turn into a different animal. Do you take the glasses off on stage?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
You're like
Yeah. No glasses on stage.
you're like now it's
Yeah. When you
on.
come off, it's like Superman. This is like the
You're like
Clark Kent version.
yeah, yes, we you're like now you're gonna get it. So I know the album is just out and you played that show. What are the what immediate plans do you have with the band now that the album is out?
We're gonna do a couple of shows coming up. First one is in Amsterdam, October the 5th. And we're planning to make a new video. We made a video for Triumph, which is on the album. It's the last track.
The last song.
Yeah. We're gonna first make a video of Crow, the first song. We're gonna do that in about 2 weeks. And doing the show now in Amsterdam. We got a couple of shows coming up ahead. On the album cover, you can see like where Almere is now, in the big C part. That's called the Zuiderzee. It was used to call the Zuiderzee. And we're gonna do shows all around that area. Call it the Zuiderzee Tour, and play shows all around where the Zuiderzee used to be. So we're working on that, and it's gonna be really cool.
Nice. And are you? I know you just released an album, but are you thinking of newer songs already?
Well, actually, yeah, we are. We made a new one yesterday. We got after the gig.
Is it already finished?
Yeah. We got back in the room where we practice, and guitar player was like, I got a new riff, and we started working with it, and finished the whole song. So yeah, I guess we're working on a new record right away.
Yeah. How long did it take you to write the first record?
Well, not really that long. The process was long though.
Mhm.
I think we had all the tracks in like a year and a half. And then we had to get in the studio, which was a long process because we recorded the drums somewhere, and we recorded the guitars and the bass somewhere else. Took our time with it, recorded a couple of songs, played it back, fixed the stuff that we needed to fix, and then went on to the next one. I did my vocals at another studio, one at a time. So we really took our time for it this time around, and it worked well because I think it sounds really good, really great. But it took a lot of time because it's 12 songs also.
Yeah.
Previously, when we recorded, we did like 5-6 track EP, and we went in the studio for a weekend and just went all out, and in one weekend it was done. And now we really took our time, and it took almost a year.
Yeah. Do you start every show shouting Almere Hardcore motherfuckers?
Yeah, a lot of times. Yeah.
Yeah, like, like, yeah. Well, if it's a fun place, I will go back and visit Almere. I put the picture Google images, and I got like a lot of like soccer, like you have a soccer team or a
Yeah.
football team down there, and things like that. So I'm like, yeah, I want to know more about Almere because I didn't know about it.
Yeah.
So do you feel like, yeah, like you say, like you're from Almere and people from Almere, it's like you're the underdogs and you're here to prove something.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. It's like I said, it's about our history, being a new town. Other people in the Netherlands kind of tend to, kind of look down on us. Like I said, the history part, the culture part, but also go like, all the trash lives in Almere. They went there to live there and build shit up. And it's not like that at all. But they still tend to look at us that way. And you said the football team we got now. When the football team was playing here, everybody in the Netherlands looked at it the same way. And then last year they promoted to the highest league, and everybody was like, "Oh shit, here is Almere," and they actually did really well. So they represented us, pretty good, and that's the same thing we try to do. Show people that we got to fight and we got to do something extra because we're from here. And it's same with the hardcore scene. We're kind of always the outsider because you got in the south of the Netherlands you got a hardcore scene with a click. In the north of the Netherlands you got a hardcore scene with a lot of bands. And like I said, we don't really have one here, so we always have to go somewhere else. And yeah, we're always the outsider. And well, that's the way it is. So we just go with that, and we draw strength from that. uh, you know um, 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 we try to be resilient, and like I said, show everybody that we're there.
So what's your favorite track from the new record?
Ooh, that's a good one. um well, I think Triumph. Yeah, and that's not just because it's like the last track in the first video, but that's really the Almere City hardcore song. It's about everything I just said, and
Mhm.
it's about the small victories, because you have to keep
Celebrate the
fighting.
small
Like you said, you
victories.
have to keep fighting. You're not gonna always win, and we're a hardcore band. We've been doing this for years. You're not gonna win the war, but these small things, the small times, the small victories, those are the moments that you live for, and those are freaking awesome. That one moment. And it's like we did the album, and we had the release show. Everybody's there. Everybody's having a good time. Yeah, that's just awesome. And those are those little wins, those little victories. And for me, we had to endure the last year a lot on a personal basis at home. But it worked, and we had to work through it, fight through it, and this is definitely a triumph. Yeah.
Yeah. And is this album, did you self-release this album or is
Yeah.
it on a label?
No, we really released it ourselves.
This is self-released. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna put the link to the Bandcamp for people who want to, you know, to buy it. Because here's the Bandcamp. Yeah, I'll put this so people can know and buy it. And I was looking at this. I hear you have the booklet. It's funny because it looks like an old map. And my
Yeah.
God, that's a lot of lyrics, man. You put a lot of words into 3-minute songs.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
Yeah, like no, yeah. When I was listening to record, you know, you're spitting. It's a fast, rapid delivery. So yeah, you have, and for people, this is the CD inside. Here you have it. So yeah, and here's the track listing. So I'll put this Bandcamp. So the Bandcamp gives a lot to the band. So I'll put this so people can follow you. You have here your merch. So you can get the t-shirts and stuff and the community. And obviously you are playing the show. The show is on the 5th. Where in Amsterdam is that show going to be?
It's in the Cave. The Cave is like a rock bar, and on October the 5th. Yeah.
Nice, the Cave. So people go to the Cave in Amsterdam. So yeah, awesome. So Dennis, anything before I let you go? Anything you would like to say to the people before we go?
Yeah, I hope when you listen to the album, you really enjoy it and you get that that fighting feeling, you know, like the song Uphill Battle. Get that positivity out of it, even in the face of adversity. Keep on going, and like us, if you can, be still going strong and go for it.
Awesome. So Dennis, I want to thank you from joining me from Almere here to Puerto Rico to talk about the hardcore music. And yeah, thank you for hitting me up. So I got to discover your band, and I like hardcore. This is a good like workout like album. You take it and you go work out for 32 minutes and get you pumped. So people, the album is out now. I'll put the link for people who want to buy it. And if you want to see the band, if you're in Amsterdam on October the 5th, go catch them play live. So until next time, Couchers, this is Hector, the shield dude on a couch, and I'll see you all right here on the couch. Thank you and goodbye.